Welcome back, Patriots, to another episode of The Bald Brad Show. It is officially Thursday, baby. Woo! We are 4 days. Okay, let's be official here. We're 4 days, but in actuality, it's more like 3 because Monday, we get to see Joe Biden stumble his way out of the White House onto a gurney, and off into an ambulance and wherever the hell he's going. Now, that's a little bit of a joke there. He is leaving. Thank God. But a lot of news to cover, and thank you for hanging around. I know we're starting a little bit late. There was a hiccup, as you could see. It, for some ungodly reason, would not let me go live on YouTube. X was a little messed up, but Rumble was working. Wanted to make sure we're able to reach all the conservatives, and that's the point here, is get our voice out there to as many people as we can. And you can help us do that by hitting that like button. But I appreciate you guys sticking around, and thank you for having patience, and thank you for not yelling at me. I know I messed up. But things happen, and I'm a one-man show here. It's not like look, my career is not being a producer or a host. It's just I do this as a hobby. Leave me alone. All right, well, let's just get right into the news since we're starting late here. Again, Patriots, good to see all of you. God bless you. Well, you know how I am with the White House press briefings. Now, that kind of put our name on the map. I will say we were one of the few channels early on that kind of made the White House press briefings like a theatrics show, a clown show. And then people started covering it. If you notice that, not many people covered the White House press briefings because they're boring. But once you start knowing people in that room, like your boy does, well, then you start getting a little bit of information. And then you start crafting the puzzle pieces, and then you start knowing, well, who are the characters in the play and what's their agenda and their motive. And then it starts turning into being a little bit of fun here because now it's turning into the West Wing, but this time we're talking about the White House press briefing and all the characters inside it. Well, we know the drama. We've covered the drama, and there's a lot of new people joining us. So again, welcome. Hit that like button. And if you haven't joined us yet and you feel like we deserve it, hit that subscribe button. There's drama, and there has been drama for quite some time. So let me break it down really quick before we jump into what happened yesterday, because our girl Wonder Woman was doing some reporting the correct way because she's actually a journalist. And I'm talking about Jackie Heinrich of Fox News. Who knows about the show? Well, Karine Jean-Pierre doesn't answer questions. We all know that. Nothing new there. You have John Kirby, who is, I guess, Biden's right-hand man, it almost seems like. And I'm talking that way because Joe Biden would not give time, one-on-one time, with Karine Jean-Pierre to get her questions answered. Now, I know the irony is there. Trust me, I see it too. You're like, Brad, holy shit, did you just say she's not getting her questions answered? Yes. The irony is that she's not getting her questions answered by her boss, and then she goes off and doesn't answer the questions from the White House press corps. Now, you could say, well, if she's not getting her questions answered from the boss, then maybe she's not able to get the answers to the press corps because she didn't get the answers in the first place. There is logic there, and we did bring that logic up. Well, Joe Biden started bringing in John Kirby more into the White House press briefing room because questions weren't getting answered. You got to get some guy with his head on straight up there. And I'll put that in air quotes, I guess, head on straight for John Kirby. Well, John Kirby was getting a lot of the press briefing time and Karine Jean-Pierre wasn't. So she threw a hissy fit. And so if you look, and I timed it, she was doing exactly 30 minutes, and then he started doing exactly 30 minutes as well to make sure the time was exact. If he did 31, guess what? She's doing 31 as well. And then they were making it seem like they're all buddy-buddy, that there was no drama. Oh, there was drama in the White House. She wanted to get John Kirby off the podium altogether. She didn't want John Kirby there at all. So there was massive drama behind the curtain. And yes, Angel's right, or Angelino. Kirby is a liar too. Yes. Well, here we go. Details emerge on why Karine Jean-Pierre kept a Biden official from talking about the hostage deal, which was massive and breaking news yesterday, that all of a sudden Israel and Hamas wanted to play ball game with each other and work out a negotiation. And then you had Joe Biden trying to take responsibility for it. I think what I'm about to say might be true. Joe Biden can't tie his shoes. Don't tell me that guy figured out the hostage deal all of a sudden. Really? Basically 4 or 5 days before Donald Trump was to take office? Like a week and a half before Trump goes, if those hostages are not out of there by the time I take office, all hell is going to break loose in the Middle East. All hell is going to break loose. They need to be back before I get in office. No, and the guy ain't messing around. And we did a whole show on it. We said, hey, Hamas, you want to listen to this guy, and I live here. You're going to want to listen to him. Sounds like maybe they did. Now, it's terrorists we're talking about. I'm going to take it with a grain of salt until I see some actual moves here, because they got a lot of hostages. I think somewhere like 425. They're only releasing, I think, like 33. Well, I want to just go to Jackie Heinrich's tweet because she deserves it. She does. It's right here. So this sparked my antennas last night. You have this also delayed news of the release of 2 American hostages. A senior administration official announced that their upcoming releases off camera in a virtual briefing over an hour later. So this was on the back of what Bill wrote, who usually covers a lot of the illegal immigration stuff. He goes, colleague Jackie Heinrich reports Karine Jean-Pierre blocked John Kirby from speaking about the ceasefire deal today, opting instead to keep the spotlight on herself despite providing no details. Well, this was because there was zero news made during whose final briefing? Who wanted all the spotlight to themselves to give her farewell address on the same day that Joey did? Yes, that's Karine Jean-Pierre, the worst White House press secretary in American history. And I think it's going to stay that way. And I mean that. I don't think Democrats will find somebody worse than her. And I hate to give myself another pat on the back, but we called it. We have an episode on it. You can find it somewhere. I would really love actually somebody to find it, where when there was that transition between Jen Psaki and Karine Jean-Pierre, I said Karine Jean-Pierre is going to be worse. And a lot of people didn't believe me because they're like, well, Jen Psaki was terrible, right? Jen Psaki was the circle back. She didn't really answer many questions either, more than Karine did. But it was always like, oh, I'm going to have to basically circle back. I'm going to have to circle back on that one. Yeah. Yeah, well, I have to come back to it. Yep, not sure, but I'll have to circle back. Yeah. Remember? So nobody's like, there's no way. No, there's no way she could be worse. No, she was worse. Now, a part of me is a little heartbroken here because she's what kind of helped make my channel, because smacking her around every week. That's also why we're covering it now, because she's gone. She's leaving. Ding dong, the witch is gone. Zero news made by Karine Jean-Pierre's final briefing. She had no details on the ceasefire hostage deal that will end 400 days of fighting. At least she went out the same way she came in, not answering questions and not having a bleeping clue of what the hell is going on here and abroad. I mean that. You guys, please understand. Yeah, there's sometimes I'm throwing satire in there, and I do rely on you to read between the lines. But at the same time, when I'm serious, her own staff says she doesn't prepare for the briefings. This is what's nice about me knowing people, is I get to give you the stuff that's behind the scenes. For a small channel like mine, people think I'm blowing smoke. No. Her own staff says she doesn't prepare for the briefings, which is why you guys see her scrambling through that notebook like you've never seen before. Instead, she wanted directing reporters to an NSC background call. Sources familiar with this situation tell me Karine Jean-Pierre blocked John Kirby from the press briefing room and talked about the ceasefire, wanting to keep the spotlight to herself. And that's where we get to this. This lady, and it runs in conjunction with what the rumor was of not wanting to share the podium with John Kirby, that they don't like each other, that they don't get along. Case in point, what you're seeing here, and she put her foot down. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre reportedly refused to let National Security Spokesperson John Kirby address the hostage deal, which was a massive thing. Folks, as far as I'm aware, I know you could find somebody, but pretty much everybody's excited about the ceasefire deal. People's freaking apartment buildings were bulldozed with bombs. I mean, people are dead, right? There's hostages. It's terrible. It's just terrible what's going on over there. I'm stoked about this. So I get kind of the best of both worlds. Luckily, this idiot wanted to create drama, and I wanted to talk about the White House press briefings because that's what helped make my channel. And this is kind of last opportunity to talk about it because she's done. And at the same time, I'm excited about another news story that there's a hostage deal that was made, which is great news. And I get to cover both. It's a wombo combo. It's a 1-2 punch. This doesn't get any better for me as far as content. So I'm milking it. You know what I mean? I'm milking it. But I really am excited that she's gone. And then we got a hostage thing, but she wants the spotlight. It shows you who they are. It shows you who they are. By the way, did anybody know that Joey even had a scheduled farewell address last night? I didn't. I stumbled on it. I'll put my hand on the hand to God. I did not know that was his farewell address was last night, that it was scheduled, his main primetime news. Not a clue. Didn't even watch it, actually. But I was flipping through, and you know, on YouTube, you could see like the news and stuff like that. I saw, oh, you did a farewell address. Didn't even know. No, he's leaving. Nobody cares about you, Joe, because you suck. Sources familiar with the situation tell me Karine Jean-Pierre blocked John Kirby from the press briefing on the ceasefire, wanting to keep the spotlight on herself. Alex Ward from the Wall Street Journal added to the report. Ooh, we're getting a little bit more here. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre stopped NSC spokesperson John Kirby from briefing at the podium today, during which he would have briefed on the Israel-Hamas ceasefire. Oh, which is not a good look, by the way. Not a good look. And if you think Joey had any involvement in this, come on. Come on. 13 months, really? Joey has involved? Yeah.
Karine, we're sort of dancing around who gets to take credit for this deal.
No one's dancing around here.
Colleague at the State Department briefed our colleagues that President Trump was critical in getting this deal over the line. Do you not agree with that statement?
I mean, look, I'm not going to speak to a random person. I don't know who this person is. I'm not going to. Oh. What I can say is, look, obviously Matt Miller will speak for himself. What I can say is there are steps that were taken here that is really important and critical, and that started with this president starting a framework that was agreed upon by the world back in May. And
you know how I know she doesn't know what the hell she's doing, that she hasn't received any training, she doesn't know how to talk with people, she doesn't know how to answer basic questions, she doesn't know how to think on her feet. You see what she's doing here? Anybody that's done like a acting class or public speaking class, whatever it is, you don't lean on the podium like this. That's how I know she has no training. This is like as basic as it gets. And it's not like, oh, well, she's on her way out, Brad. She just doesn't really care. She's been doing it for 2.5 years. 2.5 years. She don't know what she's doing.
And that was because of this president.
And also, you don't wear bracelets because the mics can pick it up and it could be freaking off-putting to people. I mean, it's thing and thing again. And by the way, you don't wear green. That's another thing. You don't wear this color because of green screens. Now, there's no green screen behind her, so it's not that big of a deal, but somebody could alter your you know what.
President. That was because he was able to lay out his thoughts, his thinking on how to move forward with this negotiation. What I said before, this is someone who understands foreign policy as I'm talking about the president. He understands how difficult it is, and this was not an easy one. And so he has the experience. He was able to get that going, to get that started. So this.
Look. Believe it or not, I'm going to miss the content. Gonna miss the content. Just, can we go in slow motion? Like, you know that song where it's all sad because she's off, she's leaving us? The content, the clueless brain, the scarecrow from Wizard of Oz doesn't have a damn clue. There's only 2 things I want to see in Joe Biden's library. You know how you can go visit like the Reagan library, the Nixon library? There's only two things. You know how when you go to these movie studios and you could see like all the dresses and the wardrobes that people used in movies? You're like, oh my God, she was so petite. Look at her slippers. Look at her dress. Oh, she's so tiny. I want to see that binder displayed, and I'm going to take a selfie with it because that thing has all the answers to all our problems. Here's the other thing. There's something we haven't talked about in a while, and I miss it. Joe Biden's teleprompter. It's retiring. Joe Biden's teleprompter is retiring. I want to see that teleprompter in Joe Biden's library because that teleprompter is undefeated. It has kicked Joe's you-know-what every address and speech. Just, Joe. That teleprompter has done more for this country than a lot of Democrats have. I'm not wrong. No, I'm not. You can't change my mind on that one. So ding dong, the witch is out. She's gone. Everybody breathe. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. Like I said, she and Jen Psaki put our channel on the map. So there's some thanks to be given to her idiocracy. Now, as I mentioned, Joe Biden gives his farewell address. I didn't watch it. Look, I'm told that he recaps 5 decades of politics or something. He get an 18-minute address, which is a big deal for him. Anything past 5 is astonishing. So the fact that he can fumble through his words and address the nation in an 18-minute address is just mind-blowing. Of course he was sitting down. You think the guy was standing up? He can't stand up for longer than 18 minutes, unless he's on something. President Joe Biden capped 5 decades in politics in a final address from the Oval Office on Wednesday morning, or evening rather. In an address, Biden began by taking credit for the hostage deal. Of course he would. Come on. Great question, Michael. How many teleprompters did he go through? That's what I want to know. These things get worn out really quick trying to keep Joey on pace. Can you imagine our mentality of having to listen to Joe, but you're the one that has to give him the words that he's supposed to read from, but he can't do it? just they're all burning out. Well, yeah, he's taking credit for the hostage deal. Huh. Sure you are, Joe. Over the course of the roughly 15... I can't even read correctly. Hold on, I haven't had all my coffee. I've been scrambling this morning. Stupid screw tube didn't want to work. 18-minute address, Biden touted his record of climate, health care, job creation, and foreign policy. Just like... Good morning to you too, Kathy. Just like Karine Jean-Pierre comes in lying to the American people, not answering questions, leaves lying to the American people, not answering people's questions. Joe Biden enters doing the exact same thing and leaves doing the exact same thing. Lies coming into office, lies going out of office. Doing criminal behavior coming into office, doing criminal behavior leaving office. This is not a broken heart like I have a little bit with Karine. He did some serious damage to this country. I don't like him. I don't care. You know, people go, oh, it's the president, shake his hand. I know. I don't like the guy. Guy freaking drove this country into the ground. And I'm hoping and praying Donald Trump can clean it up in 4 years, man. I don't know. So look at climate. Really, Joe? What did he do for climate? Anybody? There's hundreds of people watching the show right now. Can anybody think off the top of their head what that guy did for climate? They're still complaining about the climate. Like, what did he do? Other than destroy our economy, healthcare. Wow. Hey, he dropped down your prices of inhalers, you guys. Sick. He dropped down the price of insulin. All this is good. That's it. Job creation. Remember, he created, 12 million new jobs or something? He still touts his lie. Yeah, pure evil. Correct. Job creation. He didn't create jobs. He didn't do anything. He destroyed jobs. And then foreign policy. You got to love this one. Usually you want to start with what you are strong in and end with what you are strong in. in terms of the crafting and the building of your speech and your narrative and your phraseology, because it's the first thing you say and then definitely the last thing you say that people are going to remember things by. His foreign policy sucked. Some of the worst this country's ever seen. I thought Barack's was bad. Joey's was worse. I know that's a remarkable thing because we gave Iranians nuclear warheads under Obama, or at least the possibility of building them. No, like they are building them now under like full blown. Their factories are up and running. We've seen the satellite imagery. We've showed it here on the show. He also took shots at President like Donald Trump and Elon Musk and others. Of course he did, but he wouldn't take shots at his own son and his own family for doing all the crazy crap they did. Unmentioned throughout his address were several major flashpoints in his term. Of course. Why? Because they were the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan and the pardoning of his son Hunter. He didn't want to highlight those, but remember, his foreign policy is killer, dude. Oh yeah, sick, man. Sick. Yeah, you got people falling from the sky, Joe. From C-747s. Nobody's seen anything like it. We thought the whole Vietnam thing was bad. No. After 50 years at the center of all this, I know that believing in the idea of America means respecting the institutions that govern a free society. This guy, that's what he said. The presidency, the Congress, the courts. Oh, no way. It just not, I don't know if you heard that, knocked the wind out of me. A free and independent press. My mic working? Joe, you used Mark Zuckerberg to suppress the press, which is the American people, a-hole. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Joe? Can you believe it? On his way out. On his way out, he thinks that we're actually going to believe this crap as he's drooling into his drip tray over 18 minutes trying to get all this out. This has to be edited. There's no way that he actually read this correctly. A free and independent press. Folks, they banned Simon Atiba, who is part of the White House press corps, from the press room. They blacklisted the guy for a year, over a year. Simon never got a question in. A year and a half, I think it was. Dude sat there for a year and a half. Every White House press briefing, never got a question in. They actually removed his badge. He wasn't able to get in. Black guy, by the way, like a legitimate African-American, not a black guy, African-American black. If Trump ever did that, guess who would be deemed a racist? Trump would. But Joe, who was called a racist by his own vice president on the campaign trail, blacklists a black dude from Africa, from the White House, to be able to speak and have a voice for African Americans and the people over in Africa. He's not a racist. It's glorified. It's okay. And then the dude has the balls to come out and say, yeah, I'm here for the independent free press. The guy, remember, this is trip down memory lane. The dude's off. We're doing a farewell. Peace out, Joe. Victory tour here that Joey's gone. This is the guy that wanted to put in place a ministry of truth headed by the Department of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, which is another dude I can't wait to get the hell out. I'm curious who's going to hire that guy because he's crap. Don't get me going on him. Wanted a ministry of truth to tell you what was correct and incorrect. This is the administration that was working with the legacy media to tell you what was false and true. This is the same dude that told you that the Hunter Biden laptop was disinformation, misinformation, and worked with our intelligence apparatus to sign a letter telling you that it was BS and not to believe it. And then went to Mark Zuckerberg, as well as all these big tech companies saying, hey, remove this from platforms, censor these people for talking about the Hunter Biden laptop because it was real, but we're going to tell them that it wasn't real, and we're going to tell them that if they push it, they're spreading misinformation, disinformation, Russian propaganda. That's why this is crazy. I think I made my case and I could keep going, but we got other news to cover, okay? We got to spread the love here, folks. Biden also delivered warnings of what he characterized as dangerous trends in the United States. You know, I haven't even taken a peek yet. I haven't taken a peek yet. You guys can see it on your screens. He must be talking about the terrorists he allowed into this country, right? This is the dangerous trend. I'm keeping my eyes down because I don't want to read it yet. The 10+ million people 15, 20 million people are here illegally, the thousands of terrorists, the 14,000 murderers, the 15,000 like sex offenders and drug traffickers and violent gang members that'll cut your head off and wear your teeth as necklaces. Is that where he's going, guys? Is that what he's going to lead with here? Let's see. Oh, it was the rise of an American oligarchy. Oh, and climate change and disinformation. This is his farewell address. Oh, shit. Joe, you freaking fool. You know what? I don't know if you saw, this is why you want to follow me on X. A good portion of the Democrat Party believes that climate change was the reason for the fires. In California, where I live, guys, I'm not far from the fires. I'm like 30 miles. I mean, some people think that's far, but in California terms, that's not far at all. I used to commute further than that for work. Let me tell you, you guys, these people. So the guy's going to tout climate change and talk about disinformation while spreading disinformation in the same speech that he's highlighting disinformation on, and no realization. And you know, when I turn the hat sideways, you know who we're talking about. 4 more years of Joey. 4 more years. 4 more years. Right? And they're buzzing their heads in real time, trying to dye their hair. I fucking love Joe. Joe, I'm gonna miss you. That was a Democrat. I was a Democrat just there. I'm back now, though. I transitioned. There has to be more. I'm sorry, guys. I know this might be boring to you, but I got to. This is a big deal to me that Joey's leaving, and as to all of you, but I'm curious of what came out of this guy's mouth. In what appeared to be a shot at Trump's allies, including Elon Musk, Biden warned of a dangerous concentration of power. The irony of a few ultra-wealthy people. He also appeared to blame North Carolina hurricane damage on and California wildfires and the dangers of climate change. Notice he doesn't highlight the fact that he gave them a $700 gift card. Multi-million-dollar houses just burned down, gone. Everybody's possessions evaporated. I mean, their chimney's still standing, but other than that, that's it. Is there more? Please tell me. Please tell me. I'm enjoying this way too much. He called for a crackdown on social media. He called for a crackdown on social media for the spread of misinformation and disinformation. I'm equally concerned about the potential rise of tech industrial complex that could impose real dangers for our country as well. Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation. No fucking way. There ain't no way. There ain't no way he said this. Oh, fuck, I gotta watch it now. There's no fucking way. There's just no way. Sorry, you guys. There ain't no freaking way, bro. Americans are being buried. I can't even say it. It's fucking so insane. Fake gold. I don't know, man. Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. It speaks for itself, right? I mean, we're all in here every morning. We know how this works. We know where this goes. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Wake up, Joey. I don't know who had more brain power, Jimmy Carter or Joe Biden. Like Jimmy Carter, when he was over 100 years old, in his wheelchair, reclined. I'm not making fun of him. I'm being dead serious right now. No pun intended. Jimmy Carter or Joe? Let me know. Social media has given up on fact-checking. The truth is smothered by lies, told for power and profit. We must hold social platforms accountable, he added. Yeah, somebody's asking, Brad, was he talking about himself and his people? Exactly right. Yes. And remember, there's no mirror. Yeah, there is no self-reflection here going on with Joe. There's not actually anything going on in Joe's head. Biden's threat towards social media platforms comes after CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced earlier this month, which we've talked about, was severing ties with third-party fact-checking groups and moving to an X-style system with community notes on Facebook. While announcing the change, Zuckerberg said that restrictions on speech on Facebook had grown too censorious. Now, I don't trust this guy with a 10-foot pole. This guy's a scumbag. This guy's a weasel, dude. He's a snake. Like, you know what? He might do this. I don't care, dude. You've pulled this crap on me so many times, Zuckerberg. I don't believe you, bro. Even if you do it, I don't give a crap. I don't trust you. You're a weasel. You're a snake. Screw that guy. Don't believe anything he says, even if he does do it. Yo, he's lied to us 3 times about this crap. He suppressed us multiple times. Screw that guy. And all of a sudden he wants to be friends with us. It's like somebody beating the crap out of you and then going, hey, you know, we're cool, right? We're cool. And you're like, yeah, okay, like, I just kick my ass, but that's fine. And then later on, he comes and kicks your ass again. And he's like, hey, we're cool, right? Ah, come on, we're cool, right? We're buddies. And you're like, I don't know. You keep beating me up and treating me poorly. Like, I'm not sure, I guess, maybe. And then he comes and beats your ass again. No. You're a snake, dude. You're disgusting. I don't like you. Biden also called for reforms such as an 18-year term limit on Supreme Court justices and legislation against the so-called dark money groups. Joe. Hey, buddy. We've been talking about that dark money for quite some time, Joe. It's you and your son and your brother and your son's business partners, where they're getting money from China, Romania, and Ukraine. Oh, where was the receipt? The Democrats are asking for the receipts. Hold on, you guys. Well, what you have to do is use a thing called Google, and you can actually see the image of the receipts. Yeah. No, not like article receipts. They can't. This isn't working for them. No, I'm talking the actual receipts, the stubs, the checks. You could see them filled out coming from China into Joe Biden's brother's bank account, into Joey's bank account. Not to mention the security fraud risks that are all associated with their business accounts and their checking accounts and their savings accounts and all their accounts. And they're just their bank accounts, like over dozens and dozens of them, which you will never see in your lifetime. But don't worry, nothing there. Yeah. Disinformation. What am I kidding? What am I kidding? My channel's all misinformation, disinformation, according to Karine Jean-Pierre. Yeah, no, we do deep fakes, cheap fakes. Yeah, it's all fake. It's all fake. I think we're going to have a culture shock here, folks, when Donald Trump gets in office. I really do. I'm not exaggerating that one bit, because it's going to be weird hearing the truth. It's going to be weird not having somebody BS us all the time. Now, I want to be clear. I understand the role of a White House press secretary. I understand the role of getting your narrative out there. Donald Trump and his team is going to do the same things that Joe Biden did, just not to the extreme level that they did. There's going to be times where they're not wanting to answer, which you kind of saw from Bondi yesterday, the incoming attorney general. So there's things that they're going to do that Joe Biden did, and we'll call it out here or there, but it will happen, just not to that extreme. Not to that extreme. So we had a little bit of news yesterday, and that was Donald Trump's photo for 47 coming out. I don't know if you saw this. I don't know. I get, like, it's supposed to look like his mugshot. I think that was the theme they were trying to go with, which is kind of funny, actually. I'm also hearing rumors from boots on the ground that the garbage truck is coming back. So you know how they do the, I don't want to say it's a parade, but you know how they do like the thing down Pennsylvania Avenue when they're all heading to the White House from the Capitol, and it is kind of like a parade. I'm here. I don't have a confirmation, but I am hearing that the garbage truck, the trash truck that he put his name on because they called us all trash. I heard that's going to make it. I heard that's showing up. I like it, but I don't like it at the same time. Because I like when he smiles. He has a good smile. So we'll see. We'll see on that one. The State Department was asked, I believe, about basically Trump's involvement in the deal. And we have this here. So I'm going to kind of do clip after clip here for y'all rather than me. I've been mumbling and rumbling and buffooning like Joey here for a while. But here's that conversation about the hostage deal and Donald Trump's team and kind of everything going on.
When it comes to the involvement of President-elect Trump's team, it has been absolutely critical in getting this deal over the line. And it's been critical because, obviously, as I stand here today, this administration's term in office will expire in 5 days. And one of the things that we have always said about this deal is that when you get from stage 1 to stage 2, that the United States, Egypt, and Qatar are the guarantors of this deal. And Egypt and Qatar will push Hamas to stay at the bargaining table and to get from stage 1 to stage 2. And the United States will push Israel to stay at the bargaining table to get from phase 1 and phase 2. So obviously those are promises we cannot make on behalf of the United States for any longer than the next 5 days. And so it's critical that all of the parties to the agreement and the other mediators see that when the United States is in the room making commitments, those are lasting commitments that extend beyond this administration into the next one. I would just say, lastly, I don't know if it's unprecedented to have envoys from an outgoing and an incoming administration sitting at the same table negotiating a ceasefire agreement of this kind. But if it's not unprecedented, it's certainly unusual. And we, of course, thank the Trump team for working with this on this ceasefire.
Folks, you've all been around. I've been around. This is them saying, yeah, it was Trump. They don't ever glorify Trump. They don't ever even want to give the guy any sort of credit. The fact that they're showing this much credit says that all the credit goes to Trump. Trump's the reason why this got through. And if anybody had their head on straight, that's Hamas, they would know the guy's not effing around. All you need to do, I'm telling you, throw in 4 carrier strike groups off that coast, man. They're going to start. There's going to be fecal matter everywhere like it's San Francisco, just littered on the floor. Before we move on, folks, we are a morning show. And if you're enjoying what you're seeing, hit that like and subscribe button. Definitely like button because it does support us. We are growing. We are running ads right now. So if you're curious on why we're getting about 100 to 150 subs a day, it's because of all your efforts. You're throwing your money into the pot. I'm throwing my money into the pot. And we're running ads. It's the only way we're going to grow here. And that's the only way we're going to hit our New Year's resolution goal of 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'll fall over my chair. I don't even know what I would do if I had 100,000. I never thought that would happen. I said jokingly. But if it does happen, it's all thanks to all your guys' hard work of helping spread the show, showing up every morning, and just hanging out as a community. Now, when we get too big of a community, I do have... Because you know how we all know each other's names in here? I'm doing a side tangent here, but you know how we know each other's names? I know you guys, well, obviously you know me, but I know all of you guys. I know your names and all that stuff. How do we keep a community like that when you start growing bigger and bigger, when the chat goes so fast you can't even read the names? I have a game plan already. Everything's already set up for something like that to happen, okay? So, and that's where locals does come into effect. Locals is not going away. I might not be using it that much right now, but remember, when you're building something, you have to build things in preparation for things to get bigger later on. And so locals, that's why I needed it to work, because everybody that I know has been in here since like day one, that's in the chats now, that I know your names, that you're in here every day, you're going to want to at some point join locals, because that's where our tight-knit kind of group is going to transition. And then everybody else will be on like the main chats. And then we'll have our own little chat over at Rumble. And I might do a Discord or something like that. So that's, if you're curious, because people have asked, like, what's going to happen when you get big? Like, I don't know if you're going to recognize me anymore. That's where we're going. Can slow down the chat with Rumble. Yes. Now, also wanted to make sure if you guys are having a cup of coffee with me in the morning, make sure you check out 1775 Coffee. Do you enjoy free speech that Rumble's protecting and fighting for? Our show is only possible thanks to the viewers, like all of you, supporting Rumble's platform by purchasing Rumble's products. Most of you drink coffee every day. We're a morning show. I drink coffee every morning. I'm not BSing you. You could still see the stain there, but it's kind of down to right here. I drink coffee with all of you every morning. That's why you have to try Rumble's 1775 coffee. It's actually some of the best coffee, and it's the same price as the coffee you buy now. It's just better, but it's way, way better. Rumble 1775 coffee is free from chemicals, yet rich in flavor. And I'll tell you, the flavor comes across, and it's freaking awesome. This is because their beans are sourced from high altitudes, these farms from Bolivia. They're hand-picked, roasted weekly at their facility, and it's delivered fresh to your doorstep. And as believers in freedom, buying Rumble's coffee helps fight back against woke corporations like Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. There was a clip of Dunkin' where a driver told a Dunkin' Donuts drive-through person that, hey, that guy that's pulling up to your window right now is a Trump supporter, and they wanted them to mess with the Trump supporter. That did happen. This is why you want to support coffee brands like 1775 Coffee, Rumble's Coffee. Join the coffee revolution and brew rebellion with Rumble's 1775 Coffee. Go to 1775coffee.com, use promo code STUDIO, and get a free month supply of the cognitive boosting supplement Limitless when you buy 2 bags of their coffee. It's going to help tremendously. And look, some of us aren't morning people. We need that boost, baby. We need the boost. So Pam Bondi was having her hearing yesterday. And when I tell you I did not know this, folks, look at this. This woman is 59 years old. Did anybody know that? Dude, I think she's turning 60 this year. She is basically 60 years old. She's hot. She's 60. Yeah, dude, she's fire. Yeah, Lulu got it. Easy, Lulu. Okay, easy. She's mine. No, I'm kidding. Look, I've said it time and time again. You guys said it in the chat. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about conservative Republican women. They're just built different. They're just built different. Almost 60. I didn't believe it. I'm turning 36 in March. I'm turning 36 in March. Easy, though. Easy. I'm taking. I'm not in the market. But let's see here. So I was told that she nailed it yesterday. Or she's an alien. Don't get me on my conspiracy theories. I don't believe in them, but I like them.
We've been watching the Pam Bondi confirmation hearing there in the Senate Judiciary. It's been going on all day, and a lot of people believe that she has done a very good job at answering the senator's questions and probably put herself in a good position for confirmation. Carrie Urban is with us, along with Andy McCarthy and Jonathan Turley. Your thoughts, Carrie, about how she did today?
Yeah, I think Pam Bondi knocked it out of the park. Some highlights for me included when she called the FBI memo targeting Catholic parishes the, quote, ultimate weaponization. She talked about how she would, in fact, enforce the law that prohibits the picketing or parading around Supreme Court justices' homes in order to influence their decisions. We saw that happening nonstop. When the Dobbs decision was leaked, these people were allowed to stay at their homes outside of them, and she said she was horrified at the time by what she saw on TV, just like we were watching on TV. And I thought the exchange on Jack Smith and Liz Cheney was interesting. She declined to say whether she would investigate them or prosecute, saying that she didn't have the file, she hadn't reviewed anything, she didn't want to engage in hypotheticals, but she did try to turn the tables on Senator Adam Schiff, and I thought she did that pretty well, saying to him, "You're so worried about Liz Cheney when you really should be worried about the crime in your state of California," which I wonder is why he changed his tone in the next round of questioning, was much softer, and started talking about his constituents, realizing he's going to actually need his attorney general's help on that.
It did seem to change a little bit, didn't it?
Good point. Very good point. I heard she did fine. It got a little spicy in the room from time to time again. But Senator Padilla, I think is his name, to Pam Bondi, it seems to me you are very, very, very likely to be confirmed. I think everybody's getting confirmed. There was rumors that Pete Hegseth is going to get confirmed. Pam Bondi's good to go. Marco Rubio, nobody even really paid attention to. I mean, he knows everybody in that room anyways. I didn't think things got too spicy with him. He should be confirmed, and he's a shoo-in. I mean, that one's obvious. So I'm not seeing any hiccups. The only one that I think is going to have a really bumpy road, other than Pete Hegseth's, was Tulsi Gabbard and maybe RFK Jr.
It seems to me you're very, 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 very likely
does RFK need to
be confirmed, and certainly look forward to working with you in your office on the issues that I've raised today and more. It seems to me you're very, 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 very likely to be confirmed, and certainly look forward to working with you in your office on the issues that I've raised today and more. It seems to me
Read your guys' chat. I wouldn't fancy pissing off an Italian lady. Yeah, no, Here's Maisie Hirono. So Fox News House dunks on low IQ senator here for refusing to meet with Attorney General designate Pam Bondi. Wow, tongue twisters. This lady is one of the worst. She doesn't know what's going on. She's scummy. She's part of the swamp. And I'm not just saying that because she's on the other side of the aisle. Really, she is terrible. I don't know who keeps voting for her, but what are you doing? You can find somebody so much better to represent you than this lady.
Hirono, I wish you had met with me. Had you met with me, we could have discussed many things and gotten to know.
I'm listening to you now. Could you respond to the question?
Yeah, you were the only one who refused to meet with me, Senator.
But this idea there's something bad is ridiculous. Who do you pick? You pick people you know. You pick people you trust, people you're qualified.
Still baffling that you wouldn't meet as a member of Congress with a presidential elect nominee's picks for such important roles like Attorney General. But that has been the case with some of these. And this is ongoing, John.
Well, here's the reason why you wouldn't meet with them. Because you didn't want to address any of your concerns behind closed doors. You wanted to try to bring them all out into the open and use them as fodder to try to hit the nominee during an open hearing. And, Bondi was getting a lot of, will you do Trump's bidding? And I think she did a very good job in pushing back against that to say that her record has always been apolitical, that she's just gone after the bad people. And
he's right. He's absolutely right. Everybody, I mean, look, guys, it's tough when I keep going, oh, yeah, they're right. Trust me, I want to find somewhere I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm not really sure and give you more commentary on it. But look, this is what it is. They are right. They're not wrong. Pam is a great pick. She's a firecracker, man. You don't want to piss her off. She's smart as hell. And yeah, she's pretty. That's great. That's fine. But it did actually, I liked her more when I found out she was older, because with people aging comes wisdom. So I thought she was my age, dude. I thought this girl was in her 30s, and I'm not exaggerating that one damn freaking bit. That's why when I found out she was 60, I don't know what she's doing. I got to find out what coffee she's drinking or what she's doing. Easy, boys. Guys, settle down. I see you guys in that chat. Settle down. Easy, buddy. Easy, girl. Easy. You guys are too much. Too much. Let's see what else we have. We actually have some breaking news here. And kind of not what I would want to. I don't know how to address this. So we'll just kind of read it straight up. This is breaking right now. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Thursday accused Hamas, meaning right now, of backing out of ceasefire deal to refuse hostages and bring a pause to more than a year of fighting in the Gaza Strip. So we just got done yesterday having a victory party of, oh, sweet. This thing seems to be figured out, but they're terrorists. Yes, Betty, she's 60. Well, she's 59 turning 60. That's what I was told. Yeah, she looks great. Oh, yes, she does. Ask Shib. Ask Pat. Ask the boys in the chat. They'll tell you. Lulu says it too. Well, the office said today his cabinet won't meet to vote on the Gaza ceasefire deal until Hamas backs down from what it called a last-minute crisis. So things aren't as steady as we thought they were. Israel is accusing Hamas, without elaborating, of trying to go back on part of the agreement in an attempt to extort last-minute concessions, which, look, I actually believe him. We're talking about terrorists here. I'm not going to believe a terrorist. I'll tell you what, a lot of Democrats will. The Israeli cabinet was set to ratify the deal Thursday, which, folks, today, Biden joined Vice President Kamala Harris and Secretary of State Anthony Blinken for a Wednesday news conference announcing that the deal would roll out in 3 phases. Always has to be phases. It can't just be like, hey, we got this done now. Let's figure it out. Biden said the first phase will last 6 weeks and includes a full and complete ceasefire withdrawal of Israeli forces from all the populated areas of Gaza and the release of a number of hostages held by Hamas, including women and elderly and the wounded. Now, this is the part that I don't like about the deal. No. The deal is you remove the hostages and you get your life spared. That's the deal. There's no other deal. There is nothing else left. You leave the hostages, you let them go, you get to live. That is the deal. But they don't want to make that the deal. So now that's the problem. You're going to pull out, and then you want them to remove the hostages. How about remove the hostages first, and then we'll pull out? And I'm proud to say Americans will be a part of the hostage release and phase 1 as well. And the vice president, I cannot wait to welcome them home. In exchange, Israel releases hundreds of Palestinian prisoners, Biden said, and Palestinians can also return to their neighborhoods in all the areas of Gaza, and a surge of humanitarian assistance into Gaza will begin, which means more of your hard-earned money going over there rather than taking care of the people in California, North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, actual Americans. So get ready for a lot of money sending their way rather than our way to take care of the people whose houses just burned down and people died. A senior Hamas official said that the militant group is committed to the ceasefire agreement, which was announced by the mediators. Again, if you're just joining us, this is breaking news right now that allegedly the deal is maybe not as much as a deal as we thought it was going to be. So that's going on right now. Lovely stuff. Dan Bongino talked about it last night. He said, how can there be an agreement and phases with murders and tortures holding people in tunnels like coffins underground without food and water and CLO? Yeah. And as you see, excuse me, my voice cracked. I'm still going through puberty. As you see, our show and commentary follows a lot in line with Dan Bongino. And that's why a lot of Dan Bongino's people does follow the show and do like the show. So welcome, Corner. I've seen you before, so I know the MT Corner. I know you. I know everybody in here. If you haven't already, hit that like button. It does support us, folks. That is the end of today's episode. We'll be back here tomorrow for Friday, which I really enjoy Fridays because it's a lot more lax. It seemed a lot more like today was a Friday episode. Read the chat a little bit more, kind of go a little bit more talking and stuff like that, just hanging out. So Friday episode's a little bit different. We do cover the news. It will be 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you for your patience. We do have a book, Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. If you want to become a member, that's over at YouTube. It's 99 cents. Or if you want to be super sane, it's $4.99 or $9.99. But in legitimate terms, you could just become a member for 99 cents a month. That's less than $12 a year, folks, going towards a show that's every single day. And then if you also want to join over at Rumble, we have locals, and that's that join tab there. If you just want to contribute, you can go to baldbrad.com for that. Whatever you watching is supporting, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you to the hundreds of people that are watching. God bless you. Take care of one another. Pray for this country. Please pray for Donald Trump's safety as he moves into office. We still need that man ever. And with that being said, I will see you tomorrow here on The Bald Brad Show. Take care, Patriots.